Okay, as everyone can see, I've got myself a little Bond Arms here, but what Bond Arms is it? Well, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know. It is the Bond Arms Bullpup, the Bond Bullpup. This is Bond Arms' little Bullpup design handgun. This used to be a Boberg X9s. That's what a lot of people might know it as, but Bond Arms bought the design from Boberg, which is great because Boberg was a dickhead and I didn't ever want to buy a gun from him. So this one I was able to try out. Although I did get a little mad at Bond Arms because they told me they were going to get me one that I could purchase directly from them so I could get one sooner. They never got around to it after 2 years. So I finally had Sporting Systems locate me one. They got me one like in a week. So got it in my hands now, and I'm really anxious to take it to the range. For those of you that aren't familiar, this gun actually loads from the back. That's why the grip is so far forward and the barrel is so far back. When you push the slide backwards, it actually pulls around out of the magazine. They're in there kind of backwards, and then it pulls it forward into the chamber. Now, I'll go more into the design of the gun and how it works later, but like I said, right now I'm really anxious to get it to the range, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get out there. Okay, a little weirdness here right off the bat. Not only do you put the rounds in backwards, but there's no follower in the magazine. There's just a spring there. You're almost like, what is my magazine broken or something? But that actually is good. It doesn't need a follower. And plus, since it doesn't have one, you can put the rounds really far into the magazine. So it allows them to get more rounds in the magazine. Just look how far that last round sits down in there. So not having that follower is actually a good thing, I guess, in some ways. But boy, putting the bullets in backwards with the back end sticking out, that's a little bit weird. Although it's not the first time I've ever seen that. I remember that old magazine ad once where the PR people obviously weren't gun people because they had the bullets in the magazine backwards, if anybody else remembers that. Okay, first round's through it. Let's see how it does. Okay, this gun's a little bit jumpy, but really not bad at all for a gun that's so small and so light. If it just had a little ledge here for your pinky, it would be a lot easier to control, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. It might take me a little while, but I'll get used to how to hold this gun. Now let's just try to dump the mag. Went through it perfectly. Let's try one more. No separations, no fail. I almost put the magazine in backwards. I hit the target the first time, but then I got a little off because it was swinging. Now, one thing about this gun is it does not lock back on the last round. Because of the way it feeds, it can't possibly do that. So you're going to have to get used to it not locking back on the last round, which just means you're probably going to pull the trigger one more time and maybe look like an idiot, but I'm okay with that. Like I said, this thing's a little beast to hold on to. But man, it's fun. I haven't had as much fun shooting a gun in a long time, so I'm really liking this. And I'll get it to where I can hold it right eventually. I'm actually loving this little thing. This little thing's fun. It's kind of a handful to hold on to, but man, it's fun. And so far, 100% reliable. Well, as you could probably guess, that's where I jinxed myself. Next, I tried some self-defense level ammo, some Fort Scott ammo, and well, I'll let you see for yourself how that went. Okay, I'm shooting Fort Scott ammo in this, which is not one of the approved ammo, so I'm pushing my luck, but we'll see how it goes. Well, it won't load this ammo. Okay, at that point, there's nothing I could do other than go home, get some more self-defense ammo of varying types, and try them out in the gun and see if the gun had any problem with them. So let's see how that went. Okay, first we're going to try some Underwood Extreme penetrators here and see how well they do in the gun. See if they have the same problem that the Fort Scott had. We'll be shooting at my little gong. It's just a little over 20 yards away. It's 20 yards to that top of that pile of wood right there. So it's just a little beyond that. So we'll see how well it does. No one look at my love handles while I'm doing this. Worked fine. Okay, now we're going to try some Hornady Zombie Max ammo. Just like the XTP's, just got a green tip. So let's try that, see how well this does in the gun. Okay. It cycled it fine. It threw a casing against the side of my head, but cycled it fine. Okay, now we're going to try some hot stuff. We got some Corb on here, so let's see how well that does. Perfect. Cycled perfect. Now let's just try some good old-fashioned silver tips, see how they do. So far, it's just been the Fort Scott ammo that's had problems. Stop swinging. Fine. Did fine. As you can see, no problems with any other defensive ammo. I tried several different types in this gun, more than the ones I just showed you here. Not a problem with any one. I even tried a different Fort Scott ammo. The first ones were 80 grain. I tried the 115 grain. Didn't like either one of them. They would not feed in this gun. Even when I have the barrel out of the gun, I can drop any 9mm I have, just drops right in the barrel. But for some reason, the Fort Scott, if I try to drop it in there, it goes halfway in and then sticks. So I'm going to figure out why the Fort Scott has a bigger diameter than all my other 9mm, because it works fine in my other guns, but just doesn't work in this one. So for now, no Fort Scott in this gun, but everything else was 100% reliable in this gun. Now I did run into one more problem, and that's when I was shooting some heavier ammo in this gun. When I was shooting stuff 147 grains or higher in the 9mm, it would occasionally kick a casing right back at me. Ouch. That hit me right in the face. It wasn't every round, but it happened a couple of times. So that's not great, but it only occurred with those really heavy ammos, so I'm not too concerned about it. So there you have my first impressions of this gun. So far, it's been 100% reliable, except with Fort Scott ammo, and I can't blame it for that. And it's a blast to shoot. This gun is so much fun. And this would be really easy to carry. It's so short, and it's not very thick. It's just a small gun overall. So it would be a great carry gun, although I'm not going to carry it yet because I don't trust it yet. Like I said, I haven't been to the range with it enough, and it's probably not the kind of gun I would carry anyway. But if someone was looking for a small carry gun, I could see where this would definitely be in the running. Now, it does take a little effort to get used to because there's so much weight behind your actual hand because the grip is so far forward and the slide is so far back, and there's no weight up front whatsoever. So it does have a tendency to want to be a little bit flippy. So you're going to have to learn how to hold it. But once you do, it's really easy to control. It's very accurate. So that's not really a big issue. Learning how to control it is more fun than anything else. So those are my first impressions. The gun is so far awesome. I haven't had this much fun with a gun at the range in a long time. Now, will I ever carry it? Like I said, only time would tell. It would have to hold up. This mechanism would have to prove itself over time. Right now, it's kind of a newer mechanism for handguns as far as I'm concerned. I know it's been around for a little while, but to me, it's new. So I'll have to put some more rounds through it and see how it does before I decide it's a carry gun. But for now, I'm going to say as far as range guns go, this has been the most fun little gun I've had in a long time. I fucking see you. Yeah, you ain't looking at me. Is it filming? Alright, little bastard's gone. Went right back down through there. I don't know if you can see. There's a little fucking black bear standing right here on this log looking at me as I was filming. I don't know exactly which way he ran down. I think he ran down right through that little gully right there. Little bastard spying on me. It's probably that one that comes up in our yard. He probably thought I might have some watermelon with me. Comes up in our yard every night and eats the watermelon rinds. But got an audience today. As long as it's not a cougar, I don't care. I don't want any cougars coming out here. I don't like them.